Today I'm going to show you less chart than a week ago. We are just going to make a quick focus on trading buy signals known as DeMark setup 9 buy. We had such signals yesterday on Euro Stoxx 50, on DAX 30, on Topix, even though this is not a perfect 9, and also on the S&P, which is probably the most interesting one. So let's start with the Euro Stoxx 50. So I put the history of setup 9 buy. So the latest setup 9 buy was in early February. Then you can see here 3 setup 9 sell. So between April and May we had 2 consecutive setup 9 sell, which highlights a pretty strong uptrend. Then we have the first setup 9 buy. So the signal was completed yesterday evening. First setup 9 buy since early February. This is an interesting contrarian buy signal, especially because the Euro Stoxx 50 is back near an important support zone at 3300. As you can see, this support zone was challenged numerous times since the start of the year. So the fact that we have a contrarian trading buy signal near this important support zone is quite encouraging in the short term from a contrarian point of view. Now if I look at the DAX 30, we have a very similar signal. This is also the first setup 9 buy since early February, and we can see that here we have just 2 setup 9 sell instead of 3 on the Euro Stoxx 50. So obviously the DAX is weaker than the Euro Stoxx 50 since the start of the year. Anyway, we can see that this index is also approaching from an important pivot zone around 12,000. So this zone was tested numerous times since the start of the year, mostly in Q1. And once again, we can consider that the risk reward of trying a trading buy in this area is more attractive than a few weeks ago. Also, setup 9, which was not perfected as I told you, on the Topix index. The fact that this perfected arrow, so this is the green arrow we saw here, we don't have it here. We can. It shows that there is a risk of seeing a new pullback below bar 7 in order to get a perfected arrow. So the signal is less strong than on Euro Stoxx 50 and DAX, which means that the risk reward is less attractive. Anyway, we can see that also on the Nikkei 225, this index, this Japanese index, is back on its 200 moving average. So anyway, the Japanese stock market is also back on the support, on a good support level, with a contrarian trading buy signal. For me, the strongest contrarian buy signal is probably on the S&P 500. Why? Because we can see that the S&P cash index completed also a daily setup 9 buy signal yesterday. And this signal, unlike in Europe or in Japan, this signal is close to a TD/ST support line, which means that we are still in an uptrend, I would say, on the S&P 500. So this remains a leading index. What we are seeing is a pullback within an underlying trend which remains quite positive, quite strong. So at least what I would suggest, here we had a daily setup 9 sell. On a weekly basis, as a reminder, we also had a setup 9 sell here. So here. So daily and weekly setup 9 sell, we had a bearish reaction below the 2800 area, which remains a very strong resistance zone. And the fact that we completed a setup 9 buy yesterday suggests that it's probably safer to book some profit on shorts. If you sold the market, I would lock some profits, at least on half of the position. And odds are now favoring a technical bounce attempt, possibly back to 2750. Anyway, it's too early to call for a significant breakout above the 2800 area, which remains a key resistance zone. So here you can see that there is also a TD-ST resistance line at 2783, a potential resistance zone for the technical bonds. So possibility of a technical bonds, Europe, S&P 500, and also in Japan.